So obviously you got to pull it out, unplug it. This is a 220 line, so unplug it. A 220 line can kill you, so be very careful. So obviously I got to clean this all out and then disconnect the hose, the vent there, and I got a crazy dog back here. So so let me clean this up and then I'll start going. Some of the tools you're going to need: Phillips head, screwdriver. You might need a stubby Phillips head, some needle-nose pliers of some sort. Flashlight might help. I'm going to need a vacuum, a broom, a dustpan. A little stool is probably a good help, and I'm going to use a drill to help me get bolts out. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I've never done this before, but I've fixed another dryer before, but it was just the bearing, it wasn't the coil. So I'm going to give this a try. Due to the cramped quarters in my laundry room, which isn't that big, and this is upstairs, I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring the dryer actually out into the hallway to make it easier to work on. So what I'm going to need is a multimeter. That's really just to test things, just for continuity. I'm pretty sure it's the coil. About 90% of the time I've heard that it is. So I'm just going to, as I just cleaned out here, I'm going to go ahead and kind of clean off the dryer before I open it up. Well, maybe not, because I got to clean inside of it too, because it's probably got a bunch of dust in it. What you do to open it up is this whole thing pops off. Get the lid off. You stick a flathead screwdriver and you just kind of pry this up on either side like that, and you do the other side the same way, and the whole thing will just pull back. You open it up, release it from these clips, the wire, to give it some more slack as it opens up. Got my camera set up on a stool with a stand, so hopefully that helps. If you hear any background noise, it's my kids and wife. So got these 3 bolts off the top. Got to take the lint trap out. Okay, to get the front off, after you take off these 3 bolts, you push down on that clip and it will come off. You have to disconnect the door sensor. Saw the coil back here, it sits on this. This has got to come off. I may have to enter from the back of it to get it, to get the other side, because there's maybe, depending on how this one's, it may have ones that slide in, it may have bolts in it, I don't know. But I need to clean all this out first. This is just disgusting and dangerous.
What did they have? Essential 6?
Okay, vacuum a little bit. I'm gonna probably vacuum some more, but got a little shop vac here. So this is the moisture censoring stuff. So believe you push it and it comes out. Just do that for now. We'll reconnect that later. So the coil sits back behind this. So the sheet metal here could be sharp. So I recommend wearing some sort of protective gloves to not cut yourself. So, actually, this video camera gives me some pretty good light. Gotta undo that, and this, and maybe it might slide out. There might be these bolts in the back which you have to grab blindly or get to it from the back, depending on your model. So let's get another one of these. Sit it in my bag bowl. And let me see, can I get these? Okay, in my particular configuration, this model, not all Samsungs are like this. There is another two screws in the back that you can feel, but you can't see unless you go in from the back or take the whole drum out, which I really don't want to do. So you can get yourself a Stubby Phillips head and you can try to get it out that way. Or you could go in from the back. Looking at the back here, and see if I can take this vent out. See if I can get to those two screws. It's just the one screw on this side. So I'm gonna pull this exhaust out. See if I can reach in there and grab it. Unscrew it. Here's the bolt for it, screw for it. I'm just gonna put this back in so I don't lose it. I'm able to get one of them out so far. You need to have a really good stubby screwdriver, not the ones that are like the ones that have a handle like this, these little grips in there. And let me see if I can get in there to show you where I'm getting this from. You see in there, next to my work light, in that little tower there to the left, that's where these two screws are coming from. Some Samsungs, this it's just a little clip that slides in, not on this model. I got all those bolts out, those screws out. Now I should be able to grab this and bring it out. I've still got my work light in there. I would recommend wearing some sort of protective gloves in this one because this metal could be sharp. I've gotten this is for the dryer. This is for the Lint Trap. Now I got it out, and now I should be able to get that out, but I'm gonna vacuum all this up first. Okay, now that I took this cover out for the vent, I should be able to get the coil out in its base. So I can get this out, I need to unplug this right now so I can pull it out. So make a note what wire went to where. So red goes to top, blue goes to bottom. My multimeter determined that the coil is bad. So this here is the coil plugs. I believe the red goes up top, black goes on bottom. I'll have to review the video or pictures I've seen on before. So you take, first of all, here's my multimeter in ohms. You touch them against each other. Well, the probes against each other. You get zero. So this one say I'm testing the that's the this is the coil circuit. The other one, I can't remember which one it is. The next one over, zero resistance. And the last one, also has zero resistance, so that tells me it's the coil. Although I did purchase all three of them as a unit. Doesn't matter. I can replace them or keep the extras or parts. But the problem here is the coil. Since these parts are good, I can probably just leave them alone. Although I could replace, probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Excuse me. So, gonna take this out and that out, so I can then open this up because that's where the coil is. Actually, I probably need to go ahead and take them apart. So, put it out here. Now the coil lives inside of here. So I'm gonna have to open this up. You got these bolts all the way around, take out, and then the top should pop out. So you can use a hand tool screwdriver or a drill. So I can just see. Is these tabs that get bent over to help hold it in, so you just gotta take some needle pliers and bend them back out. I believe it's, yeah, this one, just bend it out. And I got it out. I opened it up. Now, let's see. Somewhere in here is broken. I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna, you gotta take these out, then pop the new one in. Of course, I'm gonna clean up all this first. It's dangerous to have this lint close to these things. Start a fire that way. So note which wire goes to which. So you get the new one out and then kind of set it down next to it. That's the part number. This isn't a Samsung branded one, but it's supposed to fit it. That is the Samsung number though. I'm setting these down like this. You notice the writing here is on both of them. So this must go like this. The bottom wire goes to the bottom side, and the top wire goes to the top side. So get this plug out. This is a ceramic thing. And there's these tabs here. You have to take some pliers and bend them. Bend them down on both of them. I believe. So, after you bend those tabs down, yeah, you'll be able to push these through. To take this out. See where, here, found the broken coil right there, where it broke. So that's why this dryer wouldn't work, for sure. So I don't need to change these, although I have them as parts. And now I'll put these in. Probably want to bend that one a little bit, like that. And bend this one a little bit. Okay. Because that's kind of how the older one was. So now I just gotta put it back together. If you're having problems lining up the holes, you can use a small screwdriver. This is a hex key, so you can just kind of line up the holes and then kind of stick that in like that. Okay, now that I got everything all screwed in, I need to take my near nose pliers and bend this tab like that to help hold it in. And of course you gotta verify everything looks good inside. Put this back in. In the back there you see a place where this will go into. Put that in there, mount it in there first, then you can put this supporting thing underneath it. There'll be little slots and tabs and such that you can, it'll support it, and you'll need to screw this back in with those hidden screws. Gonna reattach the wires. I made a diagram beforehand. You refer to it. The red one goes on top, the blue goes on bottom. So let me see. Yeah. This one. It is sharp, so be careful. The metal, it is sheet metal. So I've got all the connectors, and I didn't disconnect the other ones. So now, got to get this seated in the back, and then you get it supported with the bracket. Oh, ouch. Huh. Oh well. I've attached it to the, I've kind of just, it's just sitting in the whole thing in the back. In the back here. And then you put the support in underneath. This is much easier. There'd be some tabs you gotta line up. And then a groove here. And then there's another tab there. Now it's in place. Now you gotta put the screws in, and you're gonna need a stubby screwdriver to do all those, because you're gonna be doing them blind. So These two, obviously, in that one, but there's one in here, and first I'm gonna attach that, and then do those two, and then get the two in the back. The screw that goes back here, and you use a stubby screwdriver, and you bend this tab down, and then you bend it back up. So you can see it here. Screw in here, in there. I had to, like I said, bend this and use the stubby in there. And then I gotta go to the back and get the two in the back. Putting it back together, I got the screw in the back in from the back side. So, you have to do it blind, just by feel. I'm gonna just tighten up all these other, because I had them loose so I could still move it around. Okay. One last look at all the connectors. They're all connected. And so now you got to put the moisture sensor back on. It only goes one way, so plugged it back in. I guess I just leave it like that. And then you just put it back together. The rest of it's pretty easy. I'll show you the finished product later. You can hear I got it turning. I have it on medium heat. I'm gonna pause it. And I feel it warm in here. So that means it's fixed. Here's the old one. I showed you where the coil was broke before. On it, I can't remember where, but the coil was broken. So, yep, that was it, broken coil. I'll keep the other parts that came with it in case I need them, later tubes.